most referees give a yellow card for that one.
Well, Damien Hayes is certainly feeling the pain. Meanwhile, Ger Farragher ready to take another one. Doctor's been busy. Let's hope that gets rid of the sting. Farragher again. Oh, like a champion golfer, he just lands it on the green every time. Remarkable striker of the ball. Great player. So 12 points for Farragher, 11 points for Ling, the leading scorers obviously in the game, the free takers. Down goes Tomas Waters. Free into Wexford from 65 metres out from the Galway goal. The referee's going to have words now with David Burke. So another card coming up. 4 minutes to go. Looking like Galway, as it has looked for quite a long way back. Nearest Wexford managed to get was that goal. Oh, it's all the way in, and it's gone out and wide. They're protesting. They feel that it should have been a 65. We've got another sub coming in here, and this time it's number 20 for Galway, and that is Angus Callanan. So Aidan Hart goes off, Angus Callanan comes on. Well, Angus Callanan will be delighted to be back in there in the thick of the action once again. Here's Keith Rossiter. Outside here as far as Diarmuid Ling. Let fly inside towards Stephen Banville. Banville still challenging, went close with a goal effort a little while ago. Helped out there by the Wexford substitute. Paul Morris trying to get to it. Instead it comes out to David Burke. Joe Canning reaching up, taking, and in the end, down he goes. Darren Stamp was in immediately trying to get possession from him. Joe Canning emerged with the ball in his hands, and the referee is going to give the free Galway's way. Yet more changes for Galway, and coming into the action will be John Lee very, very shortly for the last couple of minutes. Darren Stamp, meanwhile, spoken to by the referee. So I think it's another card. Shame the game is ending in this fashion. So 2:20 to 1:14. And Ger Farragher once more to add to his impressive tally. From near the sideline. Well, no matter what the angle, he normally gets them, but this one is missed. Puck out's taken quickly. Out to Keith Rossiter. Player they call Rossi. Just too far beyond Colin Farrell. So more changes. And the last sub I've seen just coming on there is Adrian Cullinan, and that's terrific to see him come back in for the last couple of minutes here. You may remember him in championship action against Clare at Ennis last year. Match we brought you on the Sunday game live, or the Saturday game live as it was then, and he did his cruciate in that match, but he's back tonight, 12 months later. Good to see him. So I think that's Galway having used their full complement of 5 subs. Darren Stamp to take this free. So 2 additional minutes to be added to the 70, and we're almost into that now. Darren Stamp letting fly, collected here by Tomas Waters. And to Moss Waters, ball was cleared by Shane Kavanagh. Up here as far as Joe Canning, challenged by Keith Rossiter. Canning in full flow. Big cheer from the Galway crowd. In beyond his substitute forward in there. Man he was trying to target was Angus Callanan. Here's Ger Farragher once again. Again, up this time towards Callanan. And he'll be content to get a point, and gets it. Angus Callanan. Good to see him in the action here. His 9th championship appearance.
Yeah, and a lovely ball in again. Ger Farragher just moving away, spotting him around his space and putting the ball right in front of him, as Galway normally do. And they changed their tactics in the second half, laid the ball in a bit low, and they got a bit more joy from it.
Overall, how do you sum up Galway's performance? Is this more or less what they would have expected here to do the business and get through the opening round?
Well, I think that apart from the sending off where they wanted Andy Smith for the next game, you know, they'll be pleased enough to get out of this. They're running away nicely with the game now, but I mean, they'll be pleased that to win it. They won't be happy with it to be played, but there's a lot more to be played for.
Diarmuid Lyng that time with the unfair challenge. And he's going to get a yellow card as well. Shouldn't be anything more serious than that. Oh, it is. He's given him a red card. Diarmuid Lyng. So Wexford finished the match with 13 players against Galway's 14. Didn't something similar happen earlier on in the match, and it was a yellow rather than a red? The challenge on Ollie Canning, for instance.
Well, I didn't see that as being a red card, really, Ger. I think he might have gone in. You know, he just went in to win the ball, maybe possibly yellow, a bit harsh, maybe, but that's how things go.
As Ger Farragher puts it over the bar, he's got his 13th point of the match, and it's a very, very comfortable victory now for Galway, and they have won this handsomely. Final whistle. Galway did all that was required of them, and the major disappointment, I suppose, will be losing Andy Smith to a red card. Joe Canning got a goal and 3 points, exchanging the jerseys now with Keith Rossiter. The scoring star was Ger Farragher. So many frees put over the bar time and again relentlessly. Colin Farrell disappointed that Wexford are out of the Leinster Championship, and they've now got to concentrate on the qualifiers and hope that they can go places. Diarmuid Lyng was the top scorer for Wexford, but he's finished with a red card, and that will have spoilt his evening. Pretty miserable time for Wexford here at Nolan Park, where the crowds have seen Galway come and triumph, and they go into the next round. Brian Cody was here to see future opposition. Will it be Galway against Kilkenny at some future stage? Several other hoops and several other teams involved before we get to that point. It finishes at Nolan Park. Galway 2 goals and 22 points. Wexford 1 goal and 14. Back to Michael.
And your commentators at Nolan Park were, of course, Ger Canning and Donal O'Grady. Declan Ruth and Pete Finnerty with me here in the studio. Pete, I suppose you'd have to say Galway got there in the end.
I did a job done back to Galway. It got tight enough there about midway through the second half, just after Andy Smith got sent off and Wexford got a goal, brought them back into it, and there was a bit of buzz in the game. It was the first time all day, but then Galway seemed to enjoy the space more than Wexford did in the forward line, and they created more and they went 6 points ahead again, and then it began to peter out with yellow cards, and it just died. The game just died for a finish.
Yeah, Declan, obviously from a Wexford point of view, that was a disappointing evening.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the first half they never really got to grips with Galway, even though they tried hard. As we expected in the second half, they came out with a flourish, brought Peter Atkinson out around midfield, and as Pete said, for the first 15-20 minutes, they were really in the game. Rory Jacob, it was a great save by Colin Cannon, but, you know, you really have to be taking those chances, and they got a goal, got back to 3 points, but you know, all of a sudden then when Galway got the man off, like so often happens, they seem to raise their game. And I suppose maybe Division 1 hurling and the pace of the game a couple of weeks ago sort of stood them to the end. Wexford seemed to visibly tire for the last 15-20 minutes. So I suppose in the end it was a comfortable victory for Galway.
OK, we have going to take a short break here on the programme. More on this evening's match straight after that.